Hey guys, what's going on? This is Block Time with an An-Epileptic-Kid again, and welcome to the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Now, I know this is an old game, but I haven't really played it, to be honest, and I thought I'd just take, a break from my MLB The Show 24 streams. So I'm gonna be doing this. And this is gonna be a long stream, like maybe 3 hours, or actually it's gonna be until my headset almost runs out of battery. So I'm gonna start right now. So let's get everything set here. English. Confirm. No, I had not. Until the computer is barely visible. There. Current time is 8:48. Okay, now it's 8:49. Okay. Alright, settings. Let's get this done first. Controller vibration. Language. Medium. Keep it on medium. Show. Yes. Auto rock. We don't want that. Music. Controls. Well, it doesn't really. It really doesn't do anything much. So I don't see how that works actually. So wait, read buttons to controls. So interactions so require specific buttons. Oh, okay, I see what it does. We're gonna do that. And we're gonna begin the game now.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Mm-hmm.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. this complete isolation.
Hmm.
Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Now, I know that there's a lot of things that he can do in here that, like, there's a lot of choices that he can make in this game. So, let's see what we can do here.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, we can go to the meeting room, or we can just, I guess, stay here. Or whatever.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Okay. Alright. Go this way, I guess.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
We're gonna do what they say first, I guess.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay. Going
Coming to the
up.
staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay. Door open.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845.
Okay.
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
2, 8.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to
Okay.
input anything on the device was useless, since he could never
5.
possibly, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Okay. Elevator. Fun. Cool. Come on.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Oh, okay. So we're going this way.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
There's something called escape here. But it wants us to go in here.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Okay. Oh, right there.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Okay.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Go on.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Sorry guys, getting a drink. Alright, here we go.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Okay. Oh, what did I just do? What did I just do?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles
Oh,
still lay
you gotta be
unsolved.
kidding me.
Where had his
It's snowing
co-workers
again.
gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold?
Oh, here we
But
go.
as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No
I
longer
see.
would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
What if I don't want to? But I said I would.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna do what they don't want us to do now.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Mr. Memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So we're going to the right
This
now.
was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Okay.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Okay.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Yep.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality.
Yeah, sure.
It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Yeah, talk more about me. Go ahead.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Yeah, but what if I still don't want to go? Okay, go.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Okay, we're going straight.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
So we're going there, or what are we doing here?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I
wonder what
your
happened.
Trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is, in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do,
Oh God,
Stanley
here we
leapt
go.
from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Thank you. Oh God, that was good.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, now we're gonna
When Stanley came to
go
a set of 2
there.
open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
We're gonna go.
Wow. Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Yeah.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be
I wonder
difficult,
if I can
but
get
the
on
fact
that
is
ramp.
the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you forgot. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you
Really?
have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Okay. Okay, garage or something?
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Okay.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Oh, so the other door disappeared on me.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Oh, I see. The blue door right here is... Yeah, I'm not going through the red door.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Thank you.
You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you?
I guess
I
so.
put a lot of time into that, because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see.
Don't make this about you, bud.
Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
What if I don't want to? Alright, where am I going? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by itself. If he hollers, let him go. Eeny, miny, mo. Alright, we're going to the store.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
I would say 4.
Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Clearly there's something here that speaks to you. If I can be honest here, I really don't have any idea where I'm going with this. This whole third door thing was just a stab in the dark. But I guess you're into it, so let's keep this party train rolling.
Alright.
Based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Huh? Later board. Okay. Wow. Oh. Okay. I guess we still go there.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
I would say 5.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
I didn't even say anything.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger.
Oh my God.
You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Really? Am I seriously gonna do this all day? Oh, fuck it. I'm sorry.
You heartless bastard. Did
Excuse
you
me?
do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me?
Probably
If
to
it's the
spite
latter,
you.
well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh,
Okay.
hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain.
Oh,
Let's
I'm
see.
go with that.
What do we have here?
Oh, great. I gotta listen to
Yes,
this.
this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Okay. What are we doing now?
Aha! Fascinating.
Ooh,
What do you think this game is
nice.
about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation?
I need.
Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Oh, so we're going outside. Cool. Ooh, okay. Propane tanks. Can I do anything with those? Nope. Cannot do anything with those. Oh boy. Okay, let's go down.
Oh no. No, 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 it can't be.
What? This looks cool.
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off.
What?
Thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call.
Are you
You
serious?
wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game.
Yeah,
Preferably
because...
something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
I'm getting
I
tired
think
of this guy.
will be just the thing.
Oh,
Wonderful.
cool.
See, this is exactly what I had in mind.
Okay,
Just
I
a
can go...
nice big box for you
I can
to
go
run
down with
around in.
this.
There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design.
Oh,
Stanley,
definitely,
if you manage
yeah.
to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
Okay.
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see.
I had no
There are
idea.
lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun.
Okay,
We shall run the
sports
bases
ball.
and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Ball! Ball, ball, ball. Boo! Boo! No, 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 no.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun?
This is
it
totally
better than my
fun.
miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley,
Go,
I
go,
have a
go,
son,
go!
and I realize I'm
Go!
not a sportologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball.
Boom!
Yes, Oh, goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop.
Oh
I simply
God.
have to have more. I'm insatiable.
Okay.
More balls!
Go in, go in, go in, go in. Boom! No, 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 no. You're going in, buddy. You go in. Go the fuck in.
Are
Good
you
boy.
enjoying this, Stanley? Are you having fun? Is this a real video
Oh,
game?
I
Well,
had
I
no
sure
idea.
hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's over.
What?
That's right. Your little fun comes to an end. This is my game, and what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley. Besides, you need someone like me to set boundaries for you.
Okay.
Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I
Okay,
am.
if I'm not
I'm
gonna play this
structure.
game, I'm
I'm your
gonna
sense
die.
of purpose. And hold on, what are you doing?
I can't believe that worked.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley.
Oh, go. Oh, so, we're fucked, I guess. Alright, what are we doing here? I like to see in front of me, please. Oh. Okay. We're back in the office. Jeez. I can barely see a thing in front of me. You know what? I'm going to field of view. Yeah. Wait a minute. Burn this. Oh. Come on, there's gotta be burn this controls. I guess not. Okay. I cannot see in front of me. Where am I going? Okay, we're on the 5th floor. Okay. Let's go down this way. Okay. Wait a minute. We might not be on the... Oh! Cool, there's a light down here. And there's a... computer room. Jeez. Hmm?
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's
Oh.
happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Okay.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, instead of going down there, we're gonna go to that escape choice.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Now I wonder
Yet there
if
was not a single person here
that
either.
password
Feeling
on
a
the
wave of
keypad
disbelief,
is
Stanley
different now.
decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Let's go.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation.
Okay,
His
that is
attention
a
was
little
caught
bit
by a keypad
different.
behind the boss's desk. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
Oh
That kind
God,
of
here we
anxiety
go.
isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Oh. Really? Alright,
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated,
good.
Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
One. I wonder what would happen if we went back up in the elevator.
Whoops, nope, never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me.
Oh
Why
boy.
did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
There might be an Easter egg or something.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has
I
fleshed
wonder.
out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow! I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Okay. I guess we go back down. Yeah, we got the button. Yep, we do. Oh boy.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
I don't know. I guess I'm just that good.
Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor, won't he?
Oh, okay. Well, now I've been challenged not to, so I had to go up again.
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my God.
Uh,
It's the boss's office.
mhm.
This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a time out here for a minute while I process this.
Okay. Oh my God. Oh, that's funny. How long were we waiting for?
Okay, I'm ready.
Oh,
I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No! No, wait! No! I need more time to process.
are you fucking kidding me? Oh, God damn. Oh, boy. Okay. This fucking asshole.
All right. I have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality.
Are you
As
sure?
before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
Okay, I guess we go back down.
Of course. Going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had
Oh,
no frame
God.
of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
Okay. I wonder.
You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I,
What?
we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill. Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow?
Oh, boy.
There we
Oh,
go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley,
oh, boy.
it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises, to have to think and to anticipate and then to marvel at the eventual reveal? This is storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years, and it's really all because of you. You're
Thank
the one
you.
who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive.
Oh, my God. Will you
That's why
stop
people
talking?
like you so much, Stanley. Because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you. Which is why... Oh, I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you, so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better. Oh, good, we're here.
What the hell? Can I...
Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
Okay. Live on stage. Stanley. Okay.
Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door.
Okay. For a sec.
Are you ready? I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft
Oh
a truly
God.
unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry. You'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley. Okay, it looks like they're ready for you. Go get 'em.
Okay. All right, we're going up. Oh, oh, hello. Oh, okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, now we're gonna go for that emergency. Wait a minute, that escape room thing.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either.
Oh,
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming
let's
to a
go.
staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Kill surprise.
Oh, so, as I replay the story over and over again, I progress with narration. That's cool. Alright, Alright, let's go. To me. Do I dare go and do this again?
Whoops. Nope. Never mind. Stanley actually
Oh,
got
it's
back
the same
into the
thing.
elevator and went back up. Silly me.
It's the
But
same
why
thing.
did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
We're gonna go back down. Oh, I can't.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This
Okay.
has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow! I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Now, was that in the dialogue before? I don't think it was. But
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
alright.
Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor, won't he?
Okay, let's go.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
We're going to escape now.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Really?
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Okay, let's do that. I wonder what the dialogue's gonna say.
But of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for.
Are you sure? Well, what if I go back in there?
Nope, still on board with death.
But if I go back outside the door, what then? Okay, we're still gonna get going. Is there a way I can run in this game, please?
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
What if I went back to here? Nothing. So is it really gonna kill us? Oh, gonna have to wait and see. Let's find out. So I guess we go down. Are we dead?
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to
Oh
his demise,
shit, we're gonna
he
get
reflected that his life had been of no consequence
we're gonna get
whatsoever.
smashed.
Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Goodbye. No! No.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as
Huh?
Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In
No,
a single
no.
visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine
Wait.
crushed every bone in his body, killing
What
him
if I did this?
instantly.
What? Wow. Did I just...
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Okay.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see
Oh,
now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
okay. Stanley's computer. Nature paintings. Is this Stanley's office? This is a office layout. So this is a whole thing of wow. The two doors. Filing cabinets. Office computers. The office. Oh my god. Let me get up. Holy shit. My legs hurt. What are we looking at here? Button sounds. Hmm. Oh, this is the like uh Kevin Brightening as the narrator. Okay. If I even said that right. Okay, this must be like a museum of all the things in the game.
Stanley stood on the roof.
Huh? Am I?
Where were all of his co-workers? Oh, I don't know. How about they're throwing a surprise party for him for all his button pushing? Does that sound plausible to you?
I don't want to listen to him. So, what we're gonna do is try to find our way out of the museum or whatever it is. Freedom ending. Oh, the game's alpha, so that's what we. Oh, I think I get it. Oh, this was the exit. Countdown room. Now, I don't know where that would be. Elevator. Oh, okay. Game design mock-up. We were already there, I think. Oh, okay. Stanley's office. 427. I'm gonna check over here. Just to see what's there. Okay, okay, that's, a little bit disgusting. Per se. What is this for? Okay. Cargo lift. I do not know where that is. First choice. Oh, so there's a maintenance. To confusion. Oh, so it's telling us. The other entrance would be hidden depending on how you entered. So, there's a vent. Okay, we need to go. We need to go there. Seriously, we need to go there. I gotta check that out. No, we gotta check that out.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
No.
Perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice.
Okay. Let's do that. What the hell? Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Where... Whiteboard anything? Okay. Am I now opening doors?
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Oh, fuck off. Yeah, I just want to see what we can do here.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, so we need to go here.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Alright, if I seen this
The lounge
correctly.
was sublime, a work of art. What was it about this room that called so deeply and so personally to Stanley. Its grace, its subtle charm. No. Stanley knew it was something deeper, something darker.
Okay, it said there was a vent.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Okay, there's a vent here somewhere.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
It said there was a vent here or something. Okay. Now I forgot. Damn it. Can I go back in?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Broom closet. Nice.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
What if I don't want to? What would happen?
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No
Okay.
reason to still be here.
Well, now I've been challenged, so I had to stay here.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet.
Yeah.
He wasn't even doing anything.
Yeah,
At least
no.
if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Okay.
Are you really still in the broom closet?
Yeah.
Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Because you challenged me to stay in here. Basically.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
Okay.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning. Stanley was fat and ugly and really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is.
Oh,
And all the
thank you.
drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Oh, fuck you.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead.
Okay.
You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed in front of your screen.
Okay.
Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long to another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you.
Okay. All right.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Let's go down.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Oh, God.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream.
Okay.
So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up.
Okay.
He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Okay.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Okay.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Okay.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and
Oh.
walked to her place of work.
Oh,
On
God.
this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Okay. Alright, now what? Oh, okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright, now we're gonna do that, new content, what? This wasn't here before.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Jeez. I'm getting a little bit excited.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Okay.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
So I guess we're going in.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or...
Oh,
here we go.
Here we go.
All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Let's see what's going on here. Really?
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Really? Are you serious?
All right,
Okay. I guess we're going here.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
It better be good. What?
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Oh, maybe. What the fuck? Okay. Alright, this is getting weird. Very, very weird.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something! Oh, you don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine. You're a dork anyway, so who cares?
Fine, I'll...
Never mind. You're not a dork.
Okay. Wait a minute. I'll go.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Memory Zone.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Okay. Now I would know all about the stuff if I played it back then, probably. Releasing today. Tough choices. Oh, what's this? Oh, okay, what is it? Whatever.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
I see. Okay. Let me go down. Nope. Can't go down. Wow. Nope. No, that is a, what is that called? Guys, if you know what that car is called, let me know, because I'm curious. Collector's edition. I might see if I could find, collector's edition for Stanley. Okay. That's not openable.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com.
Okay.
The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
Oh well. So I guess we oh, look, a bike. Cool. Oh man, I want to go inside there. Come on. Can I move the boxes, please? Come on. God damn it. Serious room. There's gotta be a way to get inside there. God damn it. I'll probably find... Oh.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again.
Oh, this open now.
Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Okay. Well, this... This exactly looks like the ship scene from Resident Evil. What is it? Was it 7 or 8? It was 7.
Pressurized gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been. But they.
Something tells me they're not going to be. Not
I
recommended.
could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny? I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Alright, is there any way that I could go somewhere else than forward? Oh. Sorry. My controller just went dead. So I had to restart or reboot my controller. Let's keep going. Okay, this is a lift. I do remember a lift from that museum, so is there something I can do here? I'm guessing not. Okay, let's keep going. Oh. Oh God, here we go again.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh,
You
goodness.
are.
This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record.
Oh.
I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
I wonder if these are real posts by people. Can I go in there? No? Okay. I have to go out here. Whoa, the rain stopped. Okay. I can't do anything here, can I? No. Alright, fuck, man. Alright, I guess go down here.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
Okay.
A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. What
Okay.
if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record? Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto
Whoa,
today, and it's
whoa,
always been
okay,
my
okay.
motto. I'd do anything
Easy
for the
there.
kids of the Stanley. Yes,
Easy
a
there.
skip button we shall have.
Jesus Christ. I do not trust that board. I do not trust that board. Oh, fuck her. Okay. I cannot fall. Okay. And we're stuck here. What's around the corner? There's a ladder and a board. Okay. So I guess we go to...
And
this.
here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and
Okay.
I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No, 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 no. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so...
Okay, I'm gonna let him go through this because I'm curious to see what he says when he's done.
Now you see, blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. No, no, until 245. Got the logic of elimination working backwards. The deduction, therefore, becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say, the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise.
Okay.
Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay,
all right.
So my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your great gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once.
Okay,
that you are both
interesting.
making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first, I was leaning towards manifesto.
Okay.
But now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it. But wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone? It has a mouthfeel that is rich with ambition and history. Ambitious history, if you will.
All right.
See, now you've gotten me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay, look, I have a method for exactly this sort of situation. And I do find myself in this situation frequently. I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other, in which case the word I am not sick of shall be the victor.
Okay.
It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations. All right, here we go.
What?
Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise.
Oh, do we have to listen to him?
Treatise, manifesto.
Oh, fuck this. I'm skipping him.
Manifest. Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your...
Nope.
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That
Okay.
last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's
Oh.
not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again.
Okay,
I
I'm
think
doing
the
it.
skip button... Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
Oh gosh.
You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week.
Oh my
Or 2
god.
weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting. Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped
Okay.
keeping track after a year. Have you ever
What?
sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with,
Oh,
there
please,
is
no.
only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley.
Alright, bye.
Today,
Okay, is he here? I don't think he's here anymore. Okay, I guess we hit it again.
but they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was
Jesus.
meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed.
How long am I gonna do this? Okay.
The end is never the end, 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 is
Oh my god. Whoa, hello. What is going on here? Okay. Oh, hello. Oh my lord. I guess we do it again. Jeez, how many times am I supposed to do this? Oh, here we go. Oh, I can get out. Wow. Just wow. Holy fucking shit. Well, I'm just gonna go this way because I see some kind of green there. Oh. Really?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, new content? Do I dare look?
Oh, good. You notice my sign.
Oh, it's his
I
sign.
have something very exciting to show you.
Okay. Now, do I trust him? Do I trust him, fucker? Let me go back. So. Alright.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be.
Okay.
The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
2? Oh, cool.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
I will say this, it looks so good right now. Oh, so that must be... Okay, I can tell you that, some of that I can understand in different languages. Oh, I can't...
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Okay, so I'm noticing that I can't touch anything here. And I don't know why that is. New hotness. Owen and the Busted. Color red section of the chart. Oh, cool. Ugh. I don't know why my head just said color. Oh, the color red. Win-win. 1, 2. Okay. More TSP. Better TSP. Okay. So far, I'm liking what he has done. Okay. Yeah, I can't touch anything.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Okay, now, if he says that he doesn't have the game design or game ideas just yet, that just put all my hopes and dreams out the window. Seriously. I hate that fucker. Now. Meeting plan. Who took the red marker? Me. 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, 2 arms, 2 legs. 2 feet. That's one, I guess. Okay. Secrets are good. And they are. Peace. Display to the show floor. Okay. New features. Okay, gotta go around, I guess. Okay. Alright. Whoa. Here we go.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
New features. Okay. Hear your name in the game. Okay, I'll check that out.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Okay, but how is that gonna work? Honestly. Can I go this way? Try it here. Wait a minute. Button that says your name of the player that is playing the game. Try it here. Okay. My name is Frank.
Jim. Sorry, I should have clarified.
Ugh.
Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is.
Oh, fuck you, man.
Let's role play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature.
Pretty.
Just play along. I promise
Seriously?
you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
Okay,
I want
okay.
you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
I guess
If
so.
so, then please step forward and press the button. Jim. Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again. Do it again.
Oh my god. Okay.
Jim. It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
What if I hit it again?
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon
No,
you'll
no,
start
no,
to
no,
lose
no, no, no,
all
no.
sense of who you actually are.
Oh. Okay. Alright, what other things does he have in store for me?
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That
Oh,
would
okay.
actually save me the work of finishing this feature. An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it would go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Oh my god, this guy is stupid. But I guess it's a work in progress, so I can't say much. Alright. Settings work champion. What the hell is that? I'm afraid to even know what it is. Oh. Locked? Okay. Let's go, let's see. Infinite hole, free trophy. I like free. But I saw something else over there. I want to check that out. Oh, cool. Merch. Oh, you're telling me I can get past that. Alright. Right? I'll check that out later.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I am happy to
Bucket.
say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind.
Oh my
It is
god.
true.
Okay.
As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Okay, I'm game.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Already. Can't put it down. Oh, it's open now.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game?
No.
There really should be an award if it isn't already. Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. Cool. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Get well.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, no.
Actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Okay. Let's move on, I guess. Oh, we're back here. Jump circle. Oh, we already did this.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
Okay. Alright, collectibles. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. A map. I'm here at 5. So, 5 is the map. Q is free trophy. Okay, where's Q? So it's right there, so it's right behind us. Oh, there it is. Dum dum da dum. Free trophy. trophy. No more steps. It just works. Get yours right now. Okay, I'm down.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident?
Yeah.
Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes.
Oh, really?
You'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the trophy will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Oh.
Okay, perhaps I should have
What?
clarified. This is technology that will exist.
Oh,
But now,
fuck
the
you.
trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Come on. I want it. Will you just give it to me if I keep doing this? Okay. I give up. What's behind here? Nothing. Well, shit. I should have known better. Okay. Nothing here.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
For trophies, infinite hole, collectibles. So upstairs for collectibles. Oh, so down here.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly
Cool.
innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up.
am I
You simply collect all of
moving?
them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Oh, cool. It's a Stanley. 1 out of 6. Nice. Collect them all. Can you find them? Well, no, I've been challenged to find them.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Okay, it said that there was a hole here. So let's check that out. Oh, what's that? Surrounding area, opening, REM, death, infinite. Okay. Anything else? Education news only. Alright, more hole. Anything else? Okay, hole entrance, infinity. Alright.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
I don't see any, like, figurines. Okay. Wow. Whoa. Okay, what's gonna happen if I jump down there? Oh, fuck it, I'll do it anyway. Oh.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
But what if I don't want to?
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Nah. I'll try it.
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a...
I knew it!
Hey, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look,
yeah.
I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling.
Okay.
What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
Oh, don't you dare.
Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean.
And mostly you.
We just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite.
Fine.
If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
I'm gonna wait a minute, well, just to see if he, says anything. Okay.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
I got a really I got an idea. I wonder if there's some more dialogue to this.
Oh, for heaven...
There we go.
I was right.
Yes!
The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of...
Oh.
Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled.
Okay.
I really do have so much more to show you and to talk about, and I've had enough of the hole for a lifetime.
Okay. You had enough of the hole, but who says that I'm not?
Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
Okay.
Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me.
Oh.
Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot.
Do I dare go in there? Oh, what could happen?
How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to
Oh my god, I can't even get out.
Do whatever it is you're here to do.
I can't get out.
Hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the teleport button not working?
Oh no, oh no, oh no.
Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye,
What?
Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's
What?
a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
Okay, so what do I do now? Okay, what's that? What's going on? Okay, music just started. So... oh boy, here we go. So... do we just have to wait? Alright, we're gonna have to wait. Oh boy. How long do we have to wait now? Change your perspective. Whoa. Hello. Oh, so that's what it looked like. I'm keeping it right there. Reception. Oh, cool. Music. Oh, no, 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 no. No. Want to see if I can find some good music. Okay, I can deal with that. Ooh, that looks nice. Purple. Okay, that's green. Red. Oh, god damn. Oh god. Oh. We're gonna do this. You can't jump. No, seriously, we disabled it. Cool.
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley!
What?
Oh good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So
Okay.
how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole?
Okay.
From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip.
Okay. So, what now? Oh,
New features.
bucket. Office decorations. Already did that. what else? Oh. So basically, I'm... Oh, fuck it. I'm gonna go for the hole again. Just to see what would happen. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Okay. I guess what we have to do now is, go for the exit, I guess. So... Okay, we had to go this way. Jump circle, exit, okay.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Yeah, yes. No screenshots.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready? Here
Yep.
it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Seriously?
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of...
Oh my god.
Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement.
Alright.
Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it.
What?
I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game.
Okay.
Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2.
Okay.
Let me see if I can whip something up.
Go for it.
All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Alright. Holy fucking shit. Okay. Well, it's much better than just looking at a screen in an office on the main menu. Okay, well, we're gonna start the game, I guess.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number
Oh, there's
427.
balloons.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push,
Anything new?
how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job.
Okay.
Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley.
Here we
Something
go.
he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid,
Okay.
Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Hey, I see the balloons.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Okay. The bucket! The bucket! Give me. What's this? Oh. Okay. Give me the bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
That couldn't have gone any other way. That was funny. Give me the bucket. Stanley picked up the bucket. Oh, sorry. That's funny to me.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Really? Okay, we're gonna do this. Like it wants us to do.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Slide has a slick blue. Everyone is unique. Number slides on this slide. Okay. Rates. I'm just taking a look, huh? Okay. Targets. Okay. Oh, the broom closet. Let's see what it does. Anything new?
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no.
Oh,
Getting into
God.
name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
This is my bucket. My bucket. I'll see you later.
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go.
Oh, yeah. Yes!
No more debate,
yes!
no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Oh, fuck. Man, that's so good. I wonder, what's here?
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley. Only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Yep. Yes. So I got 2 of 6. Alright.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket.
Yes,
Even
the
now,
bucket.
in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket
Always.
would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk.
Oh.
Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
Oh, man.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to
I
input
messed
anything
up.
on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Oh, another one.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
So, I guess we're going down here. Come on.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Yes, it will.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Mind control facility. Okay. So it's basically the same thing here.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Oh, that's right. I gotta go this way. And
the monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
okay.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No!
Okay.
He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Yeah.
But here
Okay.
was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
What would happen if I press this? Oh, okay. Require input. Okay.
When at last they came to the source of the room's power, Stanley and the bucket knew it was their obligation to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Okay. Instead of putting it as off, I'm gonna put it on.
But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls.
Oh, God.
Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen.
Huh?
Birds. Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
Okay.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
Aww. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh. And it still says property of Stanley. So, might as well take it.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
Yep.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Do I want to? I'm gonna go this way this time.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Oh, really? Okay.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Any more dialogue?
Truly, being here with the bucket was a grand adventure. Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together. First, walking through the door on the right. Then walking to the lounge. Then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired.
Is there anything else?
Perhaps this was where the bucket felt most truly at home. Here in the employee lounge. Perhaps it's the only place a bucket can even feel at home.
Can I set it down?
Stanley decided to just give the bucket absolutely as much time as it needed to be in the lounge. Clearly, the bucket and the employee lounge shared a special connection.
Okay. Alright, I think I need to go. Let's see.
But finally, the bucket was done being in the lounge, and they took the first open door on their left to get back to business.
No. Let's go this way.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Wait a minute. This wasn't here before. There's one. Is that what I think it is? Alright. Do not fall. Do not fall. There it is.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
Okay. So, what do I do now? Do I just kill myself? Oh! Cool. Oh, okay. Okay. What are we doing? Oh, okay. I think I know what to do.
Okay, This is day number 295. Tape number...
Okay, I can move.
I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up.
Okay.
No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation.
Oh, guys. My controller just ran out of battery power. Let me change my controller. Only take a second. Do.
For it,
There we go.
I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket.
Oh my god.
This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get...
Uh-oh.
What's that? Who's there?
Okay. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Let's go.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yay!
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
Alright. I got an idea.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Yeah,
And here
sure.
it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The
Bye-bye.
cargo...
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
Okay.
Hi, Stanley. Just wanted to leave you a message to let you know there's a few things I need you to pick up on your way home from work today. We need milk, cereal, dish soap, spaghetti, get a thing of sugar, some bread, and coffee beans, whichever ones you like. I'll give you a call if there's anything I forgot. Thanks, sweetie. See you tonight.
Wow. Okay. Oh, gotta get the bucket.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This
Nope.
was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had
Nope.
the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No, we're not.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did
Okay.
not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact.
I'm gonna
He
go
was
down.
firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
So, can I go for 2v1? Nope.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point.
Oh.
Stanley, how could you think it was okay
Screw
to
you.
bring a bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Okay.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket.
Okay.
Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Incorrect. It
What?
is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Huh. Okay.
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
I'm gonna say yes.
Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Jeez.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
Well, I'm gonna say no because.
Incorrect.
What?
This is a bucket. Item 4. Is this a bucket?
That's a tractor.
Correct. This is a tractor and not a bucket. To be honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you. Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay, next one.
Oh.
Is this a bucket?
That's the same thing.
Incorrect.
What?
This is a bucket.
How? How?
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
What?
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. Should be around here somewhere.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. Thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it
Oh.
isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait,
Oh,
when I
I
say
get it.
nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless... Is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket?
No.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
Oh, God.
Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
No.
Okay, here we go.
No, 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 no.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket?
Oh.
Every single thing in the game was a bucket.
Oh,
My
God.
God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that.
All right.
Who knows what that information might do to a person. All right, here we go.
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yay! Come on.
Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around.
Oh, God.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Nope.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
No, we're just gonna go,
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this no? Never mind. The bucket was wrong.
We're gonna go to the,
door on his left to go
top
back to the
place.
meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Oh, God.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Okay. Okay, dark room.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Okay.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
What, I can't ring it? Yay! Press that to take me to work with you. Okay.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Okay. Yay! Okay.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Go back to work. Okay.
Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think. It can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else. You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Okay.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore.
I
From
don't.
now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
Oh. There.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Alright.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Hey.
Oh no. I'm having feelings. For the bucket. No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps.
Oh my
If I had
God.
the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
This is my bucket, not yours.
Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to
No.
me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it or I'll...
Okay. Go back to work, Stanley. Okay.
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall.
Alright, it's... You know what? I'm gonna let it go this time. I want to go to that place.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why,
Yeah.
I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah,
prove
yeah,
that
sure.
I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
No buckets past this point, so I don't have the bucket. So, let's go.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Oh, there's another one.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler Anmarines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler Anmarines. None of us can.
Okay.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Okay, this time I will. Wait.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Fine, I will.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I want it to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Okay. What?
What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
Okay. So if I stay here... Okay, I can't... Wow. Okay, you gotta admit, that is super cool. Okay. So, what is next? I know it probably wants me to go through the door. Yeah, that's one done.
No, wait. Where are you going? Right. Where were we?
Oh, okay. So it wants me to stay here until everything's done. Jeez, come on. Alright, where is this it? Okay, she's going up. So oh. So yeah, I need to go. Holy shit.
Oh no! Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Ah, come on, I won't die.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
Okay.
Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
So if I go back down. Yes.
Good, good. We can't be too safe. Promise me you won't go back there. Just stay here.
I don't have another option.
No. What do we talk about? You're risking everything we achieved here.
Alright.
You heard me before, didn't you? You will die. What
Okay.
about this isn't getting through to you?
Alright, let me go.
No! Oh, thank God. You lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room? No. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
Because I hate you.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
No. And,
My God. Is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy.
yeah,
Am I reading the situation correctly?
exactly.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
So I can go out there. Or I can probably die this time. Dope.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Alright.
All of his co-workers were gone,
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright, we're going to the meeting room.
The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on another thrilling adventure together.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Mission status. What the hell? Trust the completionist instinct. Okay. Follow the clues by employee 416. Okay, what was the other one? How can we find them? Alright. There will be a reward for finding all of them. Alright? Oh. Something to do with stairs. Oh, these are all the, I know where the stairs are. Alright, let me go. There we go.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
I hear it. Yes!
And there it is. The last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Okay. Alright, I'm just gonna do one more,
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? Sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd.
Yeah.
Now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad.
Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me! The bucket!
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
Come to me, Stanley! Find me!
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
Okay.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Okay.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped on the way to work.
Okay. Alright, guys. This is where I'm gonna lay it off. I'll do this, soon. Like, make another stream soon of it. Jeez. Okay. We did a lot in the last, I believe it's 3.5 hours. So, thank y'all for watching. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe for more videos from me. I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye, guys.